Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick video on Wendy Williams. You know, this whole guardianship thing is getting nastier and nastier by the minute. They're saying that the guardian denied Wendy Williams from having dinner with her niece and her new lawyer, her new personal lawyer. And I said, oh, but I thought y'all said Wendy can do whatever she wants. She has her freedom. She has the right to be with family and friends. Y'all was about to move her into a place where she can come and go as she pleases. They're playing in our face. This guardianship thing is nasty and it shouldn't even be legal. Hold on one second. Let me share a screen. So Wendy Williams' guardian blocks her from having dinner with her niece and lawyer. Wendy Williams denied dinner with niece and lawyer. This is just dreadful. So much for Wendy Williams' guardian insisting Wendy is allowed to leave the confines of her assisted living facility to visit with family because the guardian just torpedoed a night out with Wendy's niece, according to the sources with direct knowledge. Wendy planned a night out with her niece, Alex Finnie, and her new personal lawyer, famed attorney Joe Tacopina. They were going to have a dinner at a New York City restaurant. That's until Wendy's guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, put the kibosh on Wendy leaving the fifth floor of the facility, which Wendy Williams calls a luxury prison. But remember, after all, everything that was going down, they were sending letters to different places, talk about Wendy is free to do whatever she wants. We never blocked her from her family. She can come and go as she please. And then the last we heard after she left court, they was going to move her from the fifth floor to another floor. I think they intentionally are keeping Wendy and trying to drive her crazy. And this is unfair. Interesting, since the lawyer for Sabrina Morrissey recently sent TMZ a letter insisting Wendy was not being kept from her family and she could see them whenever she wanted. Well, it seems clear that's not the case. It's unclear why Wendy was denied the right to dine with Alex and Joe, but it may have something to do with Wendy's strong desire to end the guardianship. Our sources say if the judge doesn't end the guardianship soon, Wendy will demand a jury by trial and Joe will be her trial lawyer. That would put Joe squarely in opposition to the guardian. As you know, Joe is a good lawyer and a force to be reckoned with in the courtroom, most recently scoring a stunning win in the ASAP Rocky trial. We do know Joe and Alex, that's Wendy's niece, they are having dinner and it's likely they're talking strategy over pasta. This is sad. And this is where Joe tells TMZ pretty much that he is going to be Wendy's personal lawyer.
So Wendy's retained you as her personal attorney. What's the next step? How do you get on the guardianship case, which is really the end goal here?
The end goal is to get her out of that draconian institution she's in, that she doesn't belong in, because she's not incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. She's in a ward where people don't know their names, where people don't know between a red light and a green light. I mean, she's in a place where, people are dangerous to themselves. She's not. She can't leave there on her own to go get a cup of coffee. So the goal end game is to make sure she gets out of there. How it's done is honestly, it doesn't matter to me now. I spoke to Wendy at length yesterday. She wants me to represent her. I am representing her. Her family's asked me to represent her. I'm her personal attorney now. Doesn't mean I'm in the guardianship case yet, and I'm not, because the judge has to approve any lawyer coming in to the guardianship. So the bottom line is there's a process that's in play there. We are moving. We're making motions to make sure we're doing everything to get ourselves into the guardianship proceedings. And then we have other remedies if that doesn't work. If the judge, for some reason, doesn't allow us into the guardianship matter as Wendy's counsel of choice, which is almost sounds ridiculous, but they could try and argue that she's doesn't have the wherewithal, the abilities to pick her own counsel, which is obviously silly. But you know, if they did, we'd take an interlocutory appeal, or we could go as far as doing something called an Article 78, which is actually suing the judge in a Supreme Court in New York State. So we have things to do, and we'll be doing them. There are certain rules once I'm in as a guardian in the guardianship case. There's gag orders in place and whatnot, so it'll change my ability to do things that we're doing right now. But I don't care about that. I care about just getting her out of there, and whether it's me or this other law firm or us as a team, she needs to be out of there. Every day she spends there is a travesty of justice, and any additional day she spends there is horrific. I speak to her almost daily, and it's just, I mean, you look at those videos, it's horrible. She's fine.
How do you go about getting her out of that facility when the guardianship, I mean, you'd have to go against the guardianship at this point or are you just trying to convince, is this a negotiation with the guardian to say, look, she clearly doesn't belong in there, and then you deal with the guardianship itself later?
No, it's all sort of under one umbrella, where the judge basically has to be convinced that she is not in need of a guardian. And the guardian sort of has to acquiesce. And it should be also supported by medical examinations, which Wendy has done very well.
See, the guardian has to agree. And this guardian, we could see clearly by not allowing Wendy to go to dinner tonight, she's not going to agree to anything. She's fighting this thing tooth and nail. And I'm starting to believe, you know, which I did from the beginning, we know this is about money, but I'm starting to believe that she spent every dime of Wendy's money. And if they let Wendy loose, they're going to have to account for where all this money went, especially the money from the sale of Wendy Williams' home.
Well on. Look, she does not have frontal lobar dementia. She just doesn't. That's something that deteriorates over time, does not improve over time. And from 2024, when she was diagnosed with that, she was under a severe battle of alcoholism. And she was an alcoholic and is an alcoholic. She's sober now. But look on that TMZ piece that you guys produced with Harvey doing her interview, it was amazing. She was cognitive. She was articulate. She was Wendy. It's sad that this is happening. And there's, you know, I quite frankly question the motivations of people in this thing. But the bottom line is she needs to get out of there, and sooner rather than later. We have an ability, if the judges are going to let this happen, there is a mechanism where she's entitled to a jury trial. I hope it doesn't get that far. I hope a judge is going to evaluate her, look at the medical evaluations, listen to her, and say, okay, she's fine. She could go. I mean, this judge actually went as far at one point to say that, you know, one of the reasons she thought she was incapacitated is because she repeatedly used the word, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That phrase.
That's
crazy.
That's her.
That's her. And Harvey did a great thing. You guys did a great thing on that with your documentary, where you showed that Wendy has been saying that for 15 years on her show. That's one of her catchphrases, that and how you doing, right? So that's Wendy's speech mannerisms. That's not a indicia of mental defect, but that was actually used against her. So it's, I mean, this is a scary thing. And a guardianship, when you're held in a facility, is a course of last resort. It's not meant to put a 62-year-old woman in there really against her will, who's able to communicate with her family, with her friends, have a conversation, have dinner. It's not meant for that. It's really a course of last resort where someone is a danger to themselves. That's not the case here.
This is just horrible. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just horrific. It's the biggest money grab, the biggest legal money grab there ever was. And I think they spent every dime of Wendy Williams' $55 million that she had in the bank when they put her under the conservatorship. And now Sabrina doesn't want her. Why would you deny this dinner? Because you don't want her to talk to the lawyer. You don't want her to get out of this conservatorship. You don't care about Wendy. You care about your own benefit. And I bet you all the money is gone. Bet you the money is gone. And how do you get money from a person that don't have money and spend all of Wendy's money? I would love to know how many homes Sabrina owns, how many people she has stolen from, allegedly, I gotta say. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. This is Beyond Dreadful. Dreadful. You said she was free. Why can't I go have dinner? You said she was free to do what she want. Why can't she speak to a lawyer? You said she can just live in the other place, and she's still on the 5th floor. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video.